Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about working with animals and what you need to know about doing that. So the first thing is there's a organization out there called American Humane, and whenever you're working with animals you should contact Animal Humane at humanehollywood.org. Now what this organization does is they send monitors out to see how the animals are treated on set and to make sure that everything is going well, that no animals are mistreated, and that sort of thing. So they're basically looking for animal safety on set. So on features that are low budget or above, there's charges. But if you're doing an ultra low budget, a short film, or working with some of the new media contracts, then you can get them to come out for free. So it is well worth it to have the ability to put their little logo at the end of the film so that says that no animals were harmed. That's an official symbol. You can't use it, it's trademarked, unless you've actually had them on set. So that's number one. The other thing is whenever you're working with animals, you're going to be working with trainers. So there's an amount of time that the trainers need to get the animal prepared to do whatever it is that you require on your shoot. So you have to prepare for the time for the trainers to train those animals, which is usually 1 to 3 days, depending on what they're going to do. And you just have to be aware that they're going to be on set with you. They're probably going to need to travel the animal to the set unless you're shooting, if they have an available set, then that's one thing. But a lot of times animals will travel to a set. So you have to allow them that time. So there's a lot of those expenses that you don't normally think of that you have to think about putting in your budget. That's the cost of the trainer, the time they need to train, the transportation of the animal, or even using their facilities. So what you might want to consider when you're using animals is whether or not you actually need a real animal. Maybe you can use, I'm going to say a fake animal for lack of a better term, but a part of an animal so that that's a fake. So that you don't have to have actually a real animal. Maybe you can use just a piece of an animal, like some sort of animal that's like a stuffed animal or that sort of thing. To give you an example, on Passage, our cat was a little bit of a diva, so there were quite a few times that we couldn't have her on set that we really wanted to have her on set. But we did have two fake animals, fake cats made that were painted very, very close to her coloring. So what we did was we used those in a couple of scenes, but just caught a bit of the edge of the animal. Another example is on Halloween Party, we used Romani, our dog, in the movie, but our DP had also recommended that we could potentially just put like ears on the camera or near the camera and like have the camera shake a little bit like it was her head. We chose not to do that because we knew that Romani would actually could be trained to do what we wanted, but it was another option. And then another thing that you can consider is using stock footage for animals. In Cat Dex and Cosi, we used stock footage for elephants, rhinos, cheetahs, quite a few other animals in that piece. And with the color correction and the way that we used them, it looked like we actually had those animals in the film. And as a matter of fact, Animal Humane, who was part of the film, and they came out and worked with us when we were working with the lion on set, had actually asked us if we worked with these other animals because they saw it and they thought that we had actually worked with these animals. So, you know, depending on how it's done, it could look very realistic. Using green screen is another way, using animals on green screen so they're in an environment that's comfortable to them is another way to work with them, and then you insert that footage. The other thing I wanted to mention is, like having children on set, animals are going to take more time. So you need to allow for that time of working with them. Usually there's a reduced, you can maybe count on having them for maybe 2 or 3 hours, but you're not going to have them for a full day. And then also there's insurance for animals, so you really have to keep that in mind. So I hope that helped explain a little bit about how to use animals on set, what some of the costs are going to be when you're working with animals on set, and what some of the challenges are. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below and I'll try and get back to them. And just remember to call Animal Humane when you're getting ready to work with animals on your phone. Wishing you the best of luck.